strikes, I was saying, seem to be continuing, or is that message getting through now?
I think they were continuing just during the announcement of the ceasefire and in just the aftermath. Here in Doha, as I was saying, there were actually very loud explosions that we hadn't heard for a couple of weeks. The sound of interceptors in the sky, and some debris fell on a house, injuring 4 people, including a child. At the same time, alerts were going off in Bahrain, in the UAE, and in Saudi Arabia. This, as the news of the ceasefire was spreading around the world, probably a message from Iran to say, yes, we agreed to the ceasefire, but we still have the ability, despite all of the declarations of the American president, to hit and to reach all the region. Iran had always said that if indeed that deadline had been reached and President Trump would go ahead with what he had promised to, quote unquote, end the civilization, well, Iran had said that in that case, the Gulf countries will be turned into rubble.
Oh, no, I assume a lot of relief there, but at the same time, there seems to be quite a lot of confusion still over the situation with the Strait of Hormuz and whether vessels are going to be allowed to flow freely once again through it.
I think that's one of the main concerns now for the Gulf countries, because in the 10 points that Iran has put forward is control over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, on the ground, the Strait of Hormuz is not only Oman has also a stake in that Strait of Hormuz. It controls the southern part of the strait, and the Gulf countries won't accept that simply because they will be then at the mercy of Iran, at the mercy maybe of Iran imposing tariffs, at the mercy of Iran saying which ship can go through or not, and certainly losing control over a vital waterway. So that would be a huge concern for the Gulf countries. And another concern also, I would say, in that 10-point plan is that Iran is asking for all fighting troops of the U.S. to leave the region. What does that mean? Is that the ones that are deployed on the carriers in the middle of the water, or does that mean also shutting down bases in the Gulf countries, something the Gulf countries will never accept, because then they will have to fall for security under the umbrella of Iran. And considering that both sides have been at times friends, but at times also fierce enemies, it will be very difficult to see how that could happen.
And finally, Hoda, I mean, presumably the Gulf states very much wanting to know now what this peace deal could actually mean. I mean, long term, does it assure them security, or could Iran just at any point begin attacks again? It's all very much, very complicated to see how they're going to be able to come up with a deal and what that deal might contain.
Well, they will be looking very, very closely to that deal. I mean, you have several situations here. You have an American president who wants to extract himself from this war. He is far away. His troops would be safe, and the American people are safe. But then you have this region who got involved despite warning that exactly this scenario would unfold if the U.S. and Israel would unleash this war on Iran. Now, they are left with a lot of bitterness between the two sides of the Persian Gulf, I would say, between the two shores of the Persian Gulf. The countries that were doing traditionally the negotiations and the mediators, mainly Oman and also Qatar, are now in a different frame of mind, even though officially they say that they would always give a chance to diplomacy and peace. But a lot of things have changed since this war happened. And I say mainly for the Gulf countries, all what they have bet on for the past decades, all the millions and trillions of dollars that they had invested to keep the peace in this region, well, all of that has gone shattered, and they will have to rethink their relationship with Iran and with the U.S.